Alright guys, and yeah, we are witnessing the first few bans of the UIC Madison match tonight here on American Collegiate Esports League Midwest Division. So this is the semifinals match between these two teams. Which one will make it out alive? We're going to see. It's a Caitlyn ban coming through. The side of UW.
Your judgment is clouded. Seek clarity.
Pretty popular pick right now, especially with the amount of damage potential. Tarek being banned out as well, a major player in the bot lane. Really handy support being banned out there. Alright, looks like there's some major targeting going on here for UW as they go ahead and ban that Tristana as well. Really trying to focus here on the bot lane, making sure that there's not a whole lot
who dares defy my will.
The OSU crew is going to be able to do with that. So
I won't be denied.
Alright, yeah, completing first bans, that is Jarvan also banned out as well. UWM finishing off their ban phase with the Sejuani ban, making sure that UIC is not going to be able to move around too much. So alright, and that is going to be Olaf picked up second here for the side of UIC. I actually end up going over to the Johnston. Rakan being picked up there for Imperial Trinity. Also, we've seen whereas Osama played the Zaya before. He's really commanding on it. It should be pretty interesting, I think. That's going to make for a really interesting bot lane, but definitely the powerhouse of this UWM team. Alright, and the Teemo hover. It's going to end up being a rise for Tadungi. Which we have seen a lot from him throughout the course of this season. Very commanding on that one. Able to dominate the mid lane a lot with that. That is a Gallia lock-in for UWM.
Sorry about the delay. I'm back.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, by the way, I am Aaron Yodroid Yoder here with my co-caster.
Alright, I'm Alex.
I am forsaken.
Hey, what's up, Alex?
You just call me Alex.
Right on.
Goofy.
Okay, well, what's that?
I said my names are pretty goofy.
Pretty goofy picks?
Chaos will follow.
Then Braum and Varus ban. See what this last band's gonna come out to be.
A silent death.
A cannon ban. strong pick with coordination.
All right. Well, no. That's okay. Let's see. Okay, so for EWM.
Cutting out.
Yeah, sorry about that. A little bit of an audio issue, but we got it taken care of. All right. Back to these bands. The Kennen band is interesting. Is that targeted or is that
To be honest, I don't know both the teams extremely well, but I would guess that it's targeted because that wouldn't be a very strong pick in the current top lane meta, or even like mid. So it's probably just specific team, I would guess. Picking up Kaisa on the right side and then Gnar and Thresh on the left. It's pretty interesting. It's going to be a pretty good team comp on the left side, I think, so far. It's pretty balanced. And then on the right side, I think it's really strong with like CC, and Fiora is going to be outputting a lot of damage. And if Kaisa gets fed, she could be a problem. But if the game goes, 20, 30 minutes, the left side probably has it pretty solid.
Yeah, I agree.
Prediction for the game. Well, we'll see how it pans out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that if UWM can get the Johnson into the back line, throw the Galio on top, it's going to be pretty hard for UIC to actually peel that off. I mean, especially if you got the Ragnarok going, you've got the Galio dropping in on top of you. It's going to be pretty difficult. But if they're able to, kind of like maintain like their late game win condition, they should be okay. Like if they're able to shut down the Fiora, if they're able to shut down the Kaisa, they should be fine, because other than those two, there's no other carries on the team. So
I mean, I don't know. If Galio goes AP, he could output quite a bit of damage, but I think just like having the Xyz game and then the Gnar being able to peel with the Thresh, it's just going to be really hard to get onto Xayah if they position correctly. Like you said, if they clump up and get hit by a big Johnson Galio ult, then it's going to be very unlucky. It's going to be very unlucky situation.
At that moment, I really hope that we end up seeing Tadungi. And I know this is all speculation, but like at that moment, I really hope Tadungi would be able to Rise Ultimate them out of there while Galio ult is channeling. But I don't know if that would be something they'd be able to get through. I'm not sure. Tadungi is really strong in this Rise. I've seen it 2 or 3 other times. And he's been able to the team itself has been able to kind of build themselves around Tadungi, but like if perchance this how are we pronouncing this? Defisty one? Defistal. Anyway, the
Defisty one.
Defisty one? Okay. If Defisty one is able to shut him down in lane though, which I mean if you're going AP Galio, it's gonna be and Rise being a fairly like a mid-range mage, he's gonna kind of have to stand within the range of the Galio Winds of War. If Defisty one can output enough damage and put enough pressure on Jungi, it might be that UIC is gonna have to look for their power somewhere else. So that's where I mean they've got the Xayah pick going for them, and then Teddy Eddy on Thresh. Actually have not seen him play Thresh just yet. So that's going to be pretty interesting, I think, especially into something like this Kaisa Rakan lane. I mean, Rakan does kind of have to put himself out there in order to make plays. Like you have to put yourself out in an area where it's possible you're gonna get hit by a thresh hook. It's possible that Zaya's just gonna stop you in your tracks. So that part of it I find pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think if anything, the Kai'Sa Rakan is probably gonna have the toughest time because Rakan outside of Zaya Rakan, like he's strong and with Zaya, but without Zaya, he's a little bit weaker of a champion, and I don't think of any form of CC. So, you know, if he gets that big knockup and the double charm, right? Or a double knockup, double charm, that would be the ideal situation. Then burst one of them down, then they'll probably win. But if they don't die in that CC, then they're going to come back with more CC, more damage, you know, get the heal and exhaust out, and they might be able to turn that pretty easily. So
you're right. Like they
have to play really well.
Right. Like they're gonna have to execute that perfectly in order to make that work. And I mean, with playing into a thresh with the Rakan, right? So you dive in, he's just gonna brush you backwards. I don't know. Does that interrupt Rakan's dash? Because if it does, because I haven't seen that interaction just yet, but if it does, that's gonna make the bot lane a little bit more difficult for them, right?
If the flay stops the dash or the hook?
The flay. Because I know the hook stops the dash.
When he knocks up, or just when he's running in for the charm?
His dash on his E.
I think
the knockup.
It would be. Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't want to say it does.
Right.
Him outplay this game, right? Maybe we'll see the big play.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. Especially with the Kai'Sa ultimate into the Rakan shield. That'd be awesome. Okay, well, hey, we are loading up here onto the Rift in just a second.
It's a little bugged out for me. Is it loading up for you?
Yep, just for a quick notice, what timestamp are you at?
13, 14, 15.
We're on the same page? Right. Okay, well, both teams charging into the fray. Looks like we've got all 5 members of UWM charging down here to the bot side. Hoping to, looks like they're hoping to make a play. That's interesting. Oh,
looks like
Mike got
spotted out.
So... Just barely popped out of the bush there and gave himself away.
Blue team did see it.
Alright. Are they going for the cheese here? I Love Thighs is going to go ahead and take the opportunity to ward that topside red buff. Looks like it's just a mutual trade of wards though. So not too much for any of them to really worry about. Also, just as a quick point of notice, all right, so the Johnson is playing Olaf, right?
Yeah.
That's a really flat ham that this Olaf skin is carrying. I was expecting it to be like a full, like, butcher's block chop of, like, you know, leg meat. Nah, it's just a really, really flat piece of ham. Way to go, Riot.
The design.
I mean, overall, like, concept, though. Alright, so, if we, by the way, if we look at this top lane matchup, right? Nara and Fiora, I'm going to be really interested to see how well ZN Delta is going to be able to stand up against Mike. And whether or not I Love That is going to be able to generate the pressure that he's going to need up there to actually stay alive, honestly. Ooh.
Has definitely a good chance to outplay the Gnar and snowball hard, but Gnar can also Because the thing about range versus melee champions is when you go in against a range champion, is you have to really out-trade them when you go in for the trade, because when you're walking away, if they're any decent of a player, they're going to auto-attack you until you get out of range. So you're going to have to, like, compensate for that running away damage that you're going to have to take.
Right. Either you go in and you you go in and get out cleanly, or you stay in for the long fight. Ooh. Speaking of ganks in the top side, we are having our first gank of the game. I Love Thighs trying to go in on Mike. Will not end up finding anything, though. The riposte slowing down I Love Thighs. Won't let him catch a whole lot there. But, hey, I Love Thighs letting him know he's around.
Just throwing some axes.
The Johnson taking a little bit more poke than what he's probably wanting. But, oh.
Counter jungling
in. Going in for a big play. Now they are making a big move for Imperial Trinity. That will be First Blood going over to UIC. Teddy Eddie picking that one up. Thresh. Wow, yeah. Kill Steal champion of the world. No, that was a really, really good play from Teddy Eddie and Where's Osama. Yeah, and see, and this is part of the danger that I think that's bot side is facing, right? That like early on they don't have a whole lot of all-in potential, right? Because already level 3, Teddy Eddie has 2 forms of CC available. Ooh, round 2 up here in the top line. I Love Thighs. We'll get the flash away from Mike. The
step on the
riposte
W.
will step a lot.
And that will fend off that gank. Choose the back and TV back, I guess.
That would, yeah, that's going to be the smartest move there. There's not a whole lot of other places he can go. Also, I mean, he's got ZN Delta shoving up into that top tower, so teleporting back to the turret is going to be his best bet. Where's Osama looking pretty fearless down here in the bot lane. Right, so and then pivoting to the jungle, actually, the Johnson spots out I Love Thighs in the topside blue jungle, topside blue jungle. And so, and it seems like there was a trade of vision there. So both junglers actually doing a fairly good job of keeping track of one another and making sure they understand where the other is. Which it looks like, honestly, it looks like I Love Thighs maybe wanted to gank here on the bot side. So where's Osama and Teddy Eddie trying to freeze the wave right here, but can't really hold it there for too long. Ooh, alright. So if we look down to the bot side, there's a lot of aggression going on there as well. But if we look down into the brush, it looks like, yeah, this gank might actually be happening. I Love Thighs sneaking up into the brush. Good move from Teddy Eddie to clear out that brush before anything could happen. Imperial Trinity maybe looking to stay by himself. Ooh, alright, well there's the pillar. Slows him down a little bit, but Trinity able to jump out with the dash over to his AD carry. Emerald Plastic saving him a little bit, not a whole lot there. Ooh, wow. Speaking of action though, Mike on the top side getting harassed down by ZN Delta, who is going in for this. He might be able to clinch that there, except there's the ultimate going down onto him. The riposte actually blocks the damage.
Potential.
Yeah, actually, okay, so this is an interesting thing that we just witnessed on the top side, right? The riposte actually blocks passives as well, and I had no idea. So I'm glad we can all learn something from this stuff. Also, lots of pings from UWM's junglers just a bit ago.
If you don't mind me asking, how do I check the gold for each individual player? Off the top of my head.
Hold the... Oh, you know what? I actually don't totally know. I've never actually had to check that part before. Let's see.
Check gold leads, because it looks like mid lane is just over 10 CS above. Jungle's starting to get a good CS lead. Top's starting to get a good CS lead now. And then I think only really bot lane is just about even if she CS's this wave really well, if Kai'Sa CS's very well. Winning matchups for the most part on the side of ULC.
Yeah, I think you're really starting to see some of the picks pay off there. Especially in the top lane. The amount that ZN Delta has been able to just continue to stay on top of his farm and routinely beat down Mike has been fantastic. I mean, like, look at this. Even though, yeah,
he's fighting the top lane right now. I think. Oh, that killer just unlucky. He I'm pretty sure the Fiora flashed when Gnar went into the first E. He flashed the Gnar E-tid. We got another fight in the bot lane here.
Yep. Teleport from ZN Delta will come down here in Gnar form, reverting back. There is the Fisty one come down here as well.
Nothing much going on.
Yeah. I mean, that was mostly to ward off a lot of aggression. If that fight had gone on too long, I think it would have been a little bit scary. But Tadungi now a little bit in a little bit of trouble. The Fisty one runs forward, got him down to half HP. Is going to continue to chase him for Tadungi.
Galio is the early game anti-mage. Oh, but he might be able to counter him with the kiting. Ooh.
Maybe. Oh, there's the ultimate. And there you go.
Safety,
Rise ports himself to safety. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right though with the amount of pressure that Galio can exert onto mages in the mid lane. Being able to
passive from his W, especially in short trades, is pretty obnoxious to play against.
Yeah.
Especially if he's going like APMR, that's definitely obnoxious.
Yeah. The value there is it's too good against especially these harassment mages, right? These poke mages like Rise. When you're blasting through the minion wave, you're gonna get a lot of that residual damage put onto you. But if you're playing something like Galio, it's really not that big of a deal. You can usually bully your way through it, you know.
I agree. I guess it would be a little bit harder too, since you kind of had to stand near creeps as a melee champion, and Rise's abilities naturally spread, so
yeah,
self-counter, but at the end, I think they probably picked the matchup for the Johnson Galio.
Yeah, I think it was more of a for the sake of the comp, you pick this thing. So, which,
also
I mean,
kind of thinking,
overall, I think...
I was also kind of thinking earlier, we were going back to the Rakan pick, they're probably just trying to get the Rakan out of lane so he could do a big, you know, like flash, charm, knockup, engage into Galio knockup, because that would be a little bit more devastating than just Olaf running in, because now you're charmed, then you're knocked up into another knockup.
Right. Ooh, yeah, actually that's a pretty good point. So if you dash in onto the Olaf, then you follow up with the knock-up and the charm, that can work. Or even something, just a variation of that.
A lot of layers of CC on the red side team, so
Yeah.
definitely a lot of catch potential, but we'll see if they can put it to good use as the game progresses. No ults yet.
Nope. Also, it's worth pointing out that Tadungi already has his ROA built, while Defisti1 is still sitting on just the Crystal and Blasting Wand. Ooh!
Very
Looks like,
nice
oh, where is
escape
Osama
bot
getting
lane.
out?
Yeah, very clean escape bot lane. That's what I'm talking about, where every moment you think you have the Xayah, she could just use that all and escape everything, so...
Yeah, and especially pairing that with the Thresh, right? Because you still have the movement while you're in your ultimate, popping over on top of it and immediately clicking yourself out. That was brilliant. I mean, granted, if one more auto had come through from Emerald Plate, I think that would have been the end, but that was still a brilliant play. Oh, Teddy Eddie.
They're going to try to dive the Thresh. Oh, they're going to go all in for this.
Yeah. Oh, there's the flash.
I don't think the jungler should have even showed there, but I get how he kind of wanted to help the support in that situation, but
right.
Sometimes when you're really outnumbered and you don't have any DPS to compensate for it, you got to just let it go.
Exactly. I think he was hoping that the pillar would be enough to sway the fight, but in reality, I mean, you've got the Johnson, you've got Imperial, you've got Emerald, who are all there, and then on top of that, Defisti1 porting, using the heroic entrance to get himself in there. There's really not a whole lot that one Trundle's going to be able to do there.
I mean, that's a four-man fiesta right there. I mean, there's not much any champion's going to be doing. There's not much any champion is going to do 1v4.
Not as fun as what the word fiesta would say. Would think it seemed.
Stayed in lane and definitely made sure that this Galio couldn't back with the blue buff, since Galio was only at 100 mana and Ryze theoretically has infinite with the blue. He could have had a lot of lane control, but instead he decided to go for the enemy race. I'm sorry, and
yeah. Excuse me, you mean chickens?
Yeah, the chickens.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that was a, even though the micro play there from UIC might not have been great, I think them actually making sure that, like, the macro play from that, making sure that Galio wasn't able to back with the blue buff, all of that, that wasn't too bad. Ooh, Defisti1 starting to walk down to the bot side, has a heroic entrance ready, almost. Probably expecting to try to use that soon. Looked like he was trying to get a roam off at least anyway. Alright, also, if we look at completed items on the bot side, that's actually a Death Dance being completed first.
The mid lane here, and that was a really nice body block by the Ryze, but it's not gonna mean, unfortunately.
Yeah, they don't even end up being able
yes.
to pick that up. I don't think Defisti1 is almost too tanky right now. For an early level Ryze. Oh man, Teddy Eddie almost able to pick that little Rift Scuttler up for his team. But yeah, no, I think this Tadungi is almost too low level right now to be able to do any meaningful damage to Defisti1, even if Defisti1 is building what looks like towards mostly AP. So
we'll see after the rod, but I definitely agree. And the Trundle went blue smite for a little bit more utility, so he's not going to be able to bleed him out on true damage. So they're just they just didn't have the damage for that one. We got a second dragon attempt coming out here. Johnson.
Yeah,
and,
they'll be able to fix this up, no problem.
Hear that? That's going to make it a little bit harder to kite, you know, these champions diving onto you. So up for ULC, but yeah, that is the second Cloud Drake. So hitting on the map a little bit easier, even with these Ryze. If they set up like a big 4 or 5 man Ryze play, where they rotate on the map. It's going to be easier to collapse on now, or just any rotational play is just going to be a lot easier for the red side.
Yeah, exactly. And especially now that they've already got the momentum going for them with bot tower being down. So there's always got to be somebody from UIC being down on the bot side attending to that. Ooh, Chidungi looks like he's being spotted out there in the river. And I Love Thigh is actually doing a brilliant job of making sure that they're clearing out enemy wards. And that's one thing that I'm actually really enjoying about these two teams, is that they're able to, ooh, wow, a lot of damage coming up from Chidungi, but no, that they are able to make sure that they're doing their due diligence, going through, clearing out waves. Teddy Eddie gonna go for it. There's the hook on the 51, but won't end up turning up anything there.
For the most part, though, since I mentioned it last, there really has been no difference in CS leads, aside from the mid lane growing a little bit larger. So, pretty steady. 100k gold lead for the blue side, another gank going on top. We're going to see a dive coming up here top, and this looks pretty secured to me. Let's see if the Kai'Sa Rakan can do anything about it. Might get cleaned up if he gets... Nope, he's going to get away pretty clean there.
There is the...
Oh, nope, he's going to flash out
dance. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they got a return dive mid coming out here.
Teddy Eddie caught underneath the tower again, being the only one left there. Ooh, looks like the Johnson also getting a little bit of trouble with ZN Delta. Caught on his tails, but meanwhile, I Love Thighs will end up taking down Imperial.
Elio, and it looks like UIC is going to come out on top of this.
There we go. Okay, so... Oh, and there is Rift Herald coming out to bash his way through this first turret.
Tower first? Yep, now it's not going to lose any health. Now it's going to be really strong for this push. That's a really good macro play right there by the team.
Since we talked about this starting off this match, how well do you think that these teams are executing to their wing position right now?
I think definitely, if things are going the way it's going, blue team definitely has the first game in the bag, because this Xayah isn't going to get any weaker anytime soon. She's only going to get more and more out of control. Kai'Sa, although she's going to be the same way, it's going to be harder for her to dive into a team like this, that Ryze can just
with so much CC
root her, and then, you know, a lot of things can go south pretty quick. But at the end of the day, red team always has a chance if they do one-shot the Xayah in the beginning of the fight, and then they do end up picking up the Ryze. It is just a bunch of tanks aside from, I guess, the Gnar. So, I mean, you know, if they can make the picks happen, they still got a chance, red team, but as long as Osama plays safe and Ryze doesn't position too close to him at the same time, so they kind of stay a little spread apart so they don't get hit by the big combo that we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Blue team's pretty safe.
Teddy Eddie's in a little bit of trouble here. Gonna make his way out with help of Chidungi.
Ryze out. Oh.
Man, Chidungi is really making that ultimate work for him this game.
Yeah, he's making the utility pay off, that's for sure. People don't respect utility in champions. You know, a lot of people try to get the big damage, but sometimes utility, like we're seeing in this one, pays. Yeah,
it's really underrated when you can get somebody who's really good at making sure that they're making the best use of a utility champion like Ryze. Ooh, there's the Gnar ult backwards. Mike throwing that Fury ultimate onto ZN Delta. Looks like I Love Thighs not giving this up. Gonna go ahead and throw his ultimate as well.
Pretty good footwork by the Fiora too to slide out of there.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, they
Dive
were able
off your
to.
top lane, and the Olaf is just not gonna go down. Gonna get picked. The Rise is gonna get picked up. That's very unlucky, and the Thresh is not gonna be there in time.
These are some really, really brutal 4-man dives that we're seeing being executed out of
The red team.
out of UWM. Yeah, I like, and this is what I think they're gonna continue doing. And even though they've lost 3 of their outer turrets as compared to 2 outer turrets for UIC, I mean, it doesn't make those dives any scarier. If they can continue executing things like that, catching people out and picking them off, right, they can really make this comp work for them. And I think that's what interests me about this comp at first is since you do have the split push potential from the Fiora, I was wondering if they were going to start going for just these really small picks and then following up with a big objective, and it's nice to see them doing that. Blue side pings. Looking out for, where is Mike? Ooh, where's Osama putting himself in the position? I wonder if they've caught on to these 4-man dives just yet. Where's Osama gonna put down a little bit more damage onto Imperial Trinity as he walks away? Alright, there's I Love Thighs tromping over and picking up a kill, along with Where's Osama. Mike in the top lane looks like he's having a rough time. ZN Delta picking up that kill for his team as well. Yeah, that subjugate damage really did a lot to help out.
It's going to be 6k.
And
looks like they're going to be peeling off the Baron to start mid.
Oh, wow, alright, so Doogie flash over the wall.
They did get the catch on, but they got nobody else to help people, so they're gonna get cleaned up. And that
Johnson coming in, doing a boatload of damage to the 2 backline members of UIC. Wow, that was a lot of damage coming through to the 2 of them.
Mike and Galley are gonna be able to fend off this Baron, though. They might need to back off here. This is definitely looking scary.
It's only got 2,500 left. Oh, Mike with the flash in, and here is the heroic entrance. Comes down to Doongi. Looks like he's in trouble here. Gets knocked up by the 51. ZN Delta now running away. I Love Thighs caught up here in the background, and that is 2 kills picked up for UWM.
And now the team is gonna start the Baron, and it looks like there's only a Gnar to fend him off. Let's see if he can get enough poke damage down. We're gonna get an alt charm, knock up, and you're gone. So
yeah,
it
not
looks like this
a lot of living
Baron is about to go to the red team. Kind of what I was saying earlier, how red team has the chance if they catch that Xayah and they get the Rise before anyone else, then there's not a whole lot of DPS left, you know, especially after the Xayah is dead. And blue team just kind of getting a little greedy for the Baron too after the first fight. For stepping, I believe. I'm gonna say just reaching a little too far.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they overestimated what their lead was, because right now, I mean, looking at even just gold differential, right? UWM has nearly tied up the gold lead, only in 1,000 gold lead, or gold difference between UWM and UIC with 45,000. So yeah, but I do think that was just UIC overstepping themselves and thinking that they had a little bit more than they actually did. So. And even looking at items built right now, right? If we look at Tadungi in the mid lane, already has the Rabadon's Death Cap picked up for himself, fully stacked ROA, and the Seraph's Embrace fully stacked as well.
That's almost 600 AP, which is going to be a lot of damage if he can get his abilities comboed out, because He's not a big burst damage champion, but if you give him that extended fight, he will pump out that DPS and a lot of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's really something the UIC is going to have to look out for, or that UWM is going to have to look out for in these fights. Especially because I mean that's gonna even poke down the tank. So especially with the 51 not being super tanky right now. Ooh. All right. Imperial is getting a little bit cheeky with some of these dives, but he's getting out all right. Ooh. Teddy Eddie missing that hook. Also, Mike, even though he's been solo killed a few times,
got a hook coming out off of the support, and
ooh, wow.
go down. Just gonna disengage off that. To force an engage here on the blue side.
Looks like they're gonna back off as well. They've only got 4 members here, so they're not really gonna be able to fully commit. I think Tadungi might have been looking for the realm warp into the back line, but I think both teams know that they need to be stepping lightly here, not committing too much to these dives. And actually, even looking at the differential between the items, right, in the ADCs, you see the Kinsu's being completed, the Hurricane being completed on Kaisa. So Emerald Plastic is getting a really scary point. If they're able to get onto Where's Osama, it's gonna be not so good.
But I also think at the same time, even fully stacked just now, she really didn't have a lot of attack damage. So maybe she did buy the Rage Blade a little early, but maybe, maybe it does, yes.
Well, on top of that, if you look... Ooh, Tadungi, base checking a brush, is going to try to use the Realm Warp to get out, ends up flashing away. Couldn't even stand on top of his own ultimate to get out. Not the best choice, but hey, he made it out, and that's the important part.
He might have been able to save his flash and tank it out if he popped the Seraph shield immediately, but I don't
think he was trying to dodge the... I think he was trying to dodge the knock-up from the 51, because if that had landed, he wouldn't have been able to take that Realm Warp out. Now
I didn't see the full thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, because they recently took out if you're under any sort of hard CC while inside of the ultimate. Ooh, whereas Osama looks like he's going in for a little bit of blood. We'll take a good chunk of life away from Emerald Plastic, who trades back though. Wow, a lot of aggression. And it actually just goes to show how quickly the two of them could pop either one of the other one.
A little bit better of a trade for that Kaisa though, to go in and try to trade health bars, because if they do end up chunking each other, it's going to be a lot easier for the Kaisa to just walk up to a couple things, do a couple autos, Q, and then she's going to be relatively full, where is going to have to only rely on the fleet footwork procs, and since they nerfed it on creeps, it's going to take her a lot longer to sustain back up. Take the lifesteal passive on fleet footwork, bloodline. So it's still going to be a lot harder than if you were to just build lifesteal.
Yeah. And even then, like, so Kaisa did build Death Dance first, right? And we've got an Executioner's Calling be built on Where's Osama. So in an extended fight, I'm pretty sure Where's Osama would be able to come out on top, strictly because he'd be blocking so much of the healing from Emerald Plastic.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Fighting each other. But in a team
Yeah,
fight,
hopefully that
or
doesn't happen
well,
too
actually, Kaisa might be auto-attacking the Gnar in the front line and the Trundle in the front line too, and they both have the Bramble Vest or Thornmail, so it's gonna be reducing that
Imperial
healing pretty good.
Trinity popped himself up over the wall. I don't think he meant to do that, but he does end up finding 2 members of UIC who are gonna go ahead and back off. That's 4 members. Ooh, again, this nasty 4-man team. Onto these turrets, they're going to commit.
Fresh top lane, and it looks like they are very low after that engage under the tower.
Oh, I love thighs going down though. Mike teleports into the top. He's going to try to make sure the team's able to get out safely. They'll pick up 1 kill for themselves. Emerald Plastic sticks around though. Teddy Eddie could be into trouble. Flashes away. Emerald Plastic flashing over the wall. Where's Osama though? Not letting him get away. There pops the Guardian's Angel. Z and Delta getting away too. Mike as he came in to clean him up. All right, we're Teddy Eddie not able to pick that one up, but where is Mike? There you go, getting his Guardian Angel pops. Dodges just definitely out of the way of Teddy Eddie's hook, and that is the end of that fight. Wow, all right, that is 4 members of UWM going down there for only I Love Thighs. So not a bad trade at, well, no, pretty bad trade. They did lose their tower for that, so. But at least they were able to pick up a little bit for themselves.
Gold leads just about even here, and CS leads in between laners. It looks like the Rise has gone up almost, actually over a solid 100, almost 110 now, like.
He hit their Flame Horizon.
A big part of the leads going in.
Yeah,
at the same time,
contributing factor to those that gold lead or that gold differential.
The Johnson also has about over 110 CS lead on Trundle, which jungle camps are worth a little bit more. So maybe that's why they're even in gold, even though it's 15-9.
Imperial Trinity being picked off there. Yeah, he tried to face check that brush and didn't end up panning out for him. Looks like all 5 members are going to go ahead and go for Baron. They are burning this thing down.
Going to be 1 quick and clean Baron, but they're going to trade the mid turret, which is really nice, and they might even get the Gnar.
Ooh, Z and Delta looks like he's going to have to hop away.
Catch for...
Yeah, Z and Delta got a little bit too far ahead of himself. Ooh, Teddy Eddie looks like he's in trouble here as well. Emerald Plastic doing some work will end up being picked off, though, by Where's Osama, who is outputting ungodly amounts of damage to this UWM team. The Johnson looks like he's got to try to get away, but with I Love Thighs saying, no thank you, I'm picking you up and taking you home. There you go. Yep, I Love Thighs going to go ahead and clean that up for his team. The Mike backing off as well, and that's going to be a big old Daddy Drake going over to the side of UIC.
And that's what I mentioned at the beginning of the game, man. Just that late game Xayah damage. Once he gets the Essence Reaver IE and one of the Zeal items, it's just the thing she can do to entire teams if they line up for her. You know, you get wrecked.
I mean, because what you're looking at, right, is like, okay, so UWM has this really hard going and get them engaged comp, right? And then on the other side, you have UIC, who has drafted this honestly fairly ridiculous anti-engage comp, right? So every time that Johnson
like they kind of have the versatility, because the Gnar can go in and get the big ult, and the Rise can maybe go in and maybe get a root, or they can realm warp on people. But at the same time, like you said, yeah, they also have many disengage tools.
I mean, and that's primarily what they're using them for here, because the fights that we've seen them win have been these ones that UWM is coming in and trying to pick off a member, and the rest of UWIC comes around and pushes the rest of them off. So they're able to come out with more kills in the end, and then transfer that into, as we're probably going to see here, another turret. So that Elder Drake buff doing a lot of work for them.
Hopefully they can get a lot of autos on the turret in this next cannon wave with the Baron minions.
Yeah, if they're able to protect these minions enough, that should
So
be
they're
able
gonna
to.
take down that tower pretty clean.
Yeah, bye-bye turret. Gets pushed down. Isle of Thighs trying to tank up a little bit for his team. Looks like they're going to be attempting to take. They're going to end up taking this inhibitor away from UWM. Doesn't leave them with a whole lot of options. They're setting their sights on the bot lane now.
Pretty big wave coming in here, but no cannons. Gonna have that flash, charm, knock up, Galio all engage, and we're gonna see how it pans out. It looks like the Kaiser's out putting a lot of damage into the front line, but the Zaya at the same time is mashing it, if not way more damage, and it looks like it's gonna be almost a clean ace for UIC.
Ooh, Realm Warp will end up chasing them down.
Well, I didn't see where that one Realm Warp went, but I knew
Behind
he used
Kaiser.
it.
Oh wait. Yeah, I'm not even sure anymore.
Yeah, yes, because she's still running around, so...
With how fast they, with how fast they got those minions there, I'm pretty sure he used the Realm Warp to carry the minions up to, yeah, look at the gap between the minions. He used the Realm Warp to carry the minions up to the inhibitors.
Alright,
There you go.
that's
Alright,
a
that is game.
solid macro play by him, and that is the first game by USC. Went to 30 minutes plus, 40-minute game. I want to say my prediction's right. Blue team won with the late game team comp.
Yeah, I think you
First
were
game
in.
now.